Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to another episode of the Back of the Pack podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Walker. Thank you so much for tuning in. First things first, a big thank you to last week's special guest host, Karen. Karen is awesome. Make sure you check her out on the Just Grow Something podcast. Everyone loved her spiel and her whole deal last week, and she's great. So go give them a like, and we want to thank her. She will be back in September, so go ahead and mark it down on your calendars. But right now, needing no introduction, but we're going to introduce them anyway. We have the wonderful folks from Baby J's Legacy of Hope and the Rexy Run. This is Erica and Kristina. They have been on the podcast before, although it has been, we messed this up and didn't do it last year. That's my fault. But they're back now. So, Erica, Kristina, hello and welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Hello.
Here we go. And I'm going to let everyone know right off the bat that our internets are all cross-wired and funky. So we're just going to see how this goes. And hopefully it's the most magnificent podcast episode ever done by people with wonky internet. So anyway, for those who don't know, and we have a lot of new listeners, so we're just going to jump right into this. Baby J's Legacy of Hope. Erica, this is your deal, so I'm going to let you explain it so that I don't have to. So please tell all our
Yes.
brand new listeners over the last 2 years from the last time you were on, Baby J's Legacy of Hope. Go.
Okay, so Baby J's Legacy of Hope, we started it back in 2012. This was a year after our daughter Jaden passed away and earned her angel's wings, unfortunately. Um, it, we, while we were in treatment, we saw the need for all the little things that, insurance didn't cover, the everyday expenses that these families were incurring. And so we wanted to fill those gaps for them, just to help take that stress off of their shoulders so that they could focus solely on their child that was in treatment and the rest of their family. Um, so we now assist families with things like gas cards, groceries, food cards, um, any utilities that they might have, mortgage payments, rent, payments, you name it, we probably help with it. Um, just those things don't stop coming in, even though you're in treatment. And families have to have their houses, they have to have transportation, and we don't want them to have to stress about that. So we've been doing that since 2012, and it's been 12 years, and it doesn't seem like it's been that long. It seems like it was just yesterday. And so, yeah, we're grateful and blessed to be here and to be able to continue to help support these families.
And what area, like tell me, how far out do you stretch on covering these families, kind of your core area, and then how far you've gone?
Yeah, so we are based out of Lawrence. And so when we originally founded the organization, we were going to just kind of stay right in that, area, the Lawrence area and surrounding small areas within a 50-mile radius. And then we started getting more requests, and they were for further out. And so we eventually expanded our request area, and we now assist families that are treated at Children's Mercy, obviously, and then in Topeka at the Cotton O'Neill Cancer Center. They have a pediatric oncology unit. And then Wesley's Children's Hospital down in Wichita.
Okay.
So we cover a very wide area now.
Yeah, so from Kansas City to Topeka to Wichita, based out of Lawrence. So you're covering pretty much all of Kansas right there, and even now venturing over into Missouri. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Tell us, if you would be so kind. We're gonna get to Rexy Run. We're gonna have Kristina here in a second, but you guys have, oh, correct me if I'm wrong, is it 4 big fundraisers a year that Baby J's does? See, I'm making you count them now.
I
3.
know.
3. Okay.
We have, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Tell
yeah,
us about the 3 other than Rexy Run. The 2 other than Rexy Run.
yeah. So obviously we have the run.
Yep.
And then we are also, we partner each year with the Rock Chalk Round Ball Classic. And that's a 3-day event that's held in Lawrence, Kansas, that Brian Haney started 15 years ago. And our daughter was the beneficiary the 3rd year.
Okay.
And since then, Jason and I were involved, got involved, just individually. And then about 8 years ago, the charity started partnering with them. And so we are not only a partner, but I work with every family that comes in. So that is all of the beneficiaries. And this year there were 7 beneficiaries. And then about 30 to 40 other families, wouldn't you say, Kristina? Kristina comes and helps. She has came and helped me with the families, and a few of our other board members that are part of our family assistance committee, and it makes it a huge difference to have them there to help. But we have that, and then we also have Jay's Holiday of Hope.
Okay.
And that's our holiday drive. And that's where we take a pile of gift cards and gifts for everyone in the family to the families during the holiday season.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. And so then lastly,
we always ask.
No,
sorry,
go right ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kyle.
No, you're good.
We always ask the community to almost like adopt a family with that with those kids and their families, because we help up to it's up to over 20 families, hasn't it been, the past 2 or 3 years? And the amount of gift cards we give is $600 per family. That could change from year to year.
Sure.
But we reach out to the community to help with that, and we collect gift cards all year round. So even if you want to bring some gift cards literally from anywhere, Walmart, Target, TJ Maxx, Ross, anything like that you just go to the store, any kind of gas gift cards, Dylan's, anything like that. If you want to bring them to the Rexy Run, we will put those aside for Jay's Holiday of Hope, so that it helps just with that part of the fundraiser and for the families. Sorry, I just wanted to say that part.
So as she normally does, Kristina beat me to the finish line, which at any race is no surprise. So let me continue down that road. How do we contribute during the holiday drive? So we can bring gift cards to Rexy Run, kind of more during the season. How do people go about donating the gift cards to you guys?
Erica, go ahead.
Okay. You can either mail the gift cards to our PO box that we have, and I can give that. It's also on our website at babyjayslegacy.org. Or you can go onto the website and make a donation, and on the donation page you can mark that it's for Jay's Holiday of Hope, and then that money will be set aside for the holiday drive.
Okay. So, yeah, all right. So folks, any time of the year really could go to the website and just donate for the holiday, donate for, do people also do donations for the Round Ball Classic or the basketball one?
What is that? I'm sorry.
How do people donate for the basketball fundraiser, or is that just all money raised from the campus and KU?
Yeah. If anybody wanted to donate to the Rock Chalk Round Ball Classic, they have a website that you can go to make a donation to them. And that's the rockchalkroundballclassic.com.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And so then third in the year is, of course, Rexy Run, which is the race that I have done many times. Kristina is race director for said event. So, Kristina, how are we looking this year? All right. I've been trying to hype this thing up. I'm making this a Back of the Pack podcast mandatory race, meaning if you don't go to this race, you can't listen anymore. No, I'm totally kidding. So, how are we looking this year? How is Rexy doing for 2024?
Things are looking good. We're up about 30 runners from this time last year.
Yeah.
So I think we're continue to recover from the dreaded words of pre-COVID. It's the 9th year of the run. We do keep growing, like I said.
Mhm.
And a big difference from like last year to the year before, the last time we were on, is we do a 5K and we've added an 8K
Mhm.
versus the 10K. Kyle, you did the 8K last year. Did you?
I
I remember listening. I
did
think you
I?
said you didn't like the difference.
I don't remember now if I did the 5K or no, I had to have done the 8K last year. Is it where you start going up through that school and then circle back around?
Nope, that was
Was that
the
2 years ago?
previous year.
Oh,
Hmm.
see, boy, it's like these races blend together or something. I
They
don't know how
do.
that happens. Okay, but
Yep.
so tell people about the 8K. So they're looking at what, about 5 miles, 4.5,
Yeah,
four,
it's like
five?
5. It's technically, I think, supposed to be like 4.97. We have
Okay.
it at 5.
Hmm.
And we changed that because for those who have done the run before, there's like no shade. I'm not gonna lie. There's no shade in this race. It's flat, but there's no shade.
Yeah.
So our 10K numbers really just hadn't been going up. So I was like, well, let's try something different. So we did
Hmm.
an 8K. It increased from the year before to last year. So that'd be 2022 to 2023. The numbers increased just in like the 8K. And again, I think, like I said, the overall numbers are up. I think even the 8K numbers are up.
Okay.
Um, so I think it was a great decision. I still like the decision. So um, I don't know what will happen next year with the 10th year. I don't know. We might bring it back, but for this year, we're doing the 5K and the 8K. And we'll also do a Dino Dash
Hmm.
for the kids. This is definitely geared to younger kids, like
Yeah.
2 through 6. It's like a 50-yard
Right.
dash. But Ryan Spark at Farm Bureau and his team and his wife really take over for that, and they do it up right for the kids. We will give them like their own packet, but they'll get all kinds of goodies and their own, like I said, packet of goodies that they can take with them and a medal and everything. But it is definitely for the younger kids. It's a 50, 100-yard dash. It's not very far.
Yeah, your
Um,
preteens aren't going to like it much.
no. No. Have your preteens just do the 5K or something like that. Yeah, it's not something. Yeah, it's for the younger ones. Um, if you missed the race last year and you're intrigued by the 8K, the other thing of it is we now start. So our race starts and ends in Broken Arrow Park in
Hmm.
Lawrence, and we now are. Last year was the first year we're on the south side of the park versus more the north side of the park. Um, so it's just, I mean, it's the same area, but it's just the other side of the park. We had kind of like a little finishing, I don't want to call it like an expo, like a big expo, but we had a couple of vendors. We had coffee back there,
Hmm.
a little bit more. It kind of kept people that they could gather and talk to each other, talk about how good or bad things were. Um, you get your awards right there. Our awards, something else, if you've never done the Rexy Run, I want to brag on our awards. They are fantastic. We do canvases, like said, art canvases
Hmm.
that are decorated by warriors,
Yep.
children that have beat cancer. We also get donated by 3D. I always mess this up, Erica, even though I love the print shop. What's 3D Fun?
3D printed fun shop.
Thank you. 3D Printed Fun Shop. I always mess it up.
We
Is
won't tell them.
I know. Sorry, Jason. Uh, Jason is the husband of Erica, dad of Jaden.
Hmm.
He does his own 3D printing. He has his own company. Look him up. They're great. And he's last year and this year has printed very cool 3D awards, age group awards, and overall. You cannot get better awards because they're very personal. You have them
Nice.
3D printed by Jason, dad of Jaden Souter, and then also canvases are decorated by warriors, um, by cancer warriors. So
That's
find me
right.
more special awards, and I'll be at
Right.
that race.
Yeah. No, I
So
I think you guys probably take the cake on that one. For sure.
Yeah. So I think those were the big things I do. And again, I might be beating you, Kyle, but I'll go ahead and talk about it.
He's gonna.
We give a very large portion of our proceeds from the race go directly to one family and one kid in particular. Every dollar donated goes to Baby J's Legacy of Hope that helps families that have a kid fighting cancer.
Yep.
But a large portion of our proceeds, 60% of it, I'd say, go directly to a family. And this year, the kid's name is Maddox.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to mess it up. So, Erica, will you tell us more about Maddox, please?
Sure.
And just so everyone knows, this is their honorary Rexy. That's the title, right? Honorary Rexy.
Yeah.
So this year's honorary Rexy. And yes, Kristina beat me again. Here we go.
Yeah. So our honorary Rexy is Maddox LeCamp. I think that's how you say his last name. I have to double check with his mom. But anyway, he is 3 years old. And he was diagnosed with medulloblastoma, which is a form of brain cancer. But he just finished his treatment about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe. And he is in remission and he's doing really well. He's at home now with his family and they are just enjoying being together again and getting some sort of normalcy back in their routine. And actually, his mom just messaged us and said their oldest daughter has cheer camp for 3 days. And so it was really cool to hear that they were there, doing something normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's a cute little kid. That was the other thing I wanted to say. Maddox, one of his favorite things are dinosaurs.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
And so did not know that when we actually talked about our beneficiaries for this year and who we were going to select. We found that out afterwards and it was just like, well, that was meant to be.
Right.
It was like a perfect fit. That was really cool.
Okay. So
go ahead.
I was going to say, we'll hop back to this. I'm curious, when one goes into remission, as Maddox has, which is great, and pardon my lack of knowledge, what does that look like recovery wise? Like health improving? What are the steps? What does that look like for a 3-year-old kid? Because I honestly have no idea.
So when a child is said to be put in, it is a very good question. And because unless you've walked this journey or you've been with someone that has been in this journey, you don't know. You couldn't. But when a child has been declared in remission, that means they are showing no new signs of disease, and or no new activity. Sometimes with brain tumors, they can't remove the whole tumor. So they just hope to make sure that on the scans, they're seeing dead tissue in there and no new tumor cells lighting up. That's a very, very vague way to describe it because it's different for every diagnosis.
Sure.
But for a 3-year-old, or for any child, it is different because every child's body reacts to it differently. And every family handles it differently. But, for right now, it's just trying to get back in a normal daily routine. Their sleep is thrown off.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times their nights are confused with their days. Their eating habits are off because when they're in treatment, you're just trying to get them to eat anything that they will take by mouth.
Right.
Because a lot of times these kids are being supplemented because they don't feel like eating. So they literally are given formula through a tube to keep nutrients going in, so that those are big things for a child at that age. Plus, their immune system is still so weakened. That's a big thing for these kids, is slowly building that back up. That still means that you can't go out into large groups. You can't, that you don't want to be around a bunch of people that are sick. There's still those precautions that they have to take. So when I say getting back to some sort of normalcy, that could take months.
Yeah.
Or longer, depending on how long the family's journey was. And then financially getting stable again with that, because most of the time these families have to have at least one parent that has to step away from their job, and so they're on a single income.
Right.
We have worked with a couple families recently where both parents have had to quit their job because they've had to come from down south of Wichita to bring their child up to Children's Mercy, and they have two other younger children. So they have to be together. And so it's a struggle really for a lot of times. And that's why with our organization, once we hear that the child's finished treatment, we don't just stop providing that assistance. We stay with them. And we try to help them get reestablished.
Yeah. No, that's great. Again, I'd always wondered, never knew, but it certainly sounds like, I know for me, like when I saw the post last week, like, oh man, remission, that's great. Everything is great. And I could see how a lot of people then might, not, they're not trying to be jerks or anything, but they might kind of walk away and be like, okay, on to the next sick kid. But
Yeah.
there's still so much that can happen, even after remission is achieved, that, I was curious on what that would look like, especially for, a 3-year-old kid. That's rough.
Yeah.
Now they'll still
and
go back for scans because
Oh,
right,
sure.
like what every 3 months once they're in remission, Erica, something like that.
for him, he's gonna go every month right now.
Okay.
And that's and the scans aren't every month. Sorry, I didn't preface that. He'll go, and sometimes they even go more often than that for blood draws, labs, checkups. But most of the time, yes, it's every 3 months for scans, Kristina. And then they'll slowly spread it out. Sometimes they can go every 3 months for a year or longer, 2 years. It just depends on the doctor. Yeah.
Sure. And then if I'm remembering our talks from 2 years ago correctly, and I'll try not to get as fired up about this as I did last time. Remind the good folks, and if you want to listen to me absolutely go off the rails, go back 2 years ago. Cancer funding for children, has the number changed at all?
No.
Okay, and tell everyone what that number is. The amount of funding that goes to childhood cancer is what percent?
4%.
4. So if you've ever wondered why Baby J's Legacy of Hope and others like them do what they do, 4% of cancer funding goes towards what? Pediatric cancer.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll try to avoid another meltdown, but whew.
And
Just
pediatric cancer is one of the number one killers. Yeah, I hate saying that.
Saying that word.
Like, pains me to say that. But yeah. And unfortunately, there's so many more types and subtypes than adult cancers, that's what makes it different and harder. Plus, you can't test on children. Well, we are.
Yeah.
Because all of the chemos that they use are adult chemos that they've titrated down.
That's what I was gonna say. Isn't a lot of the treatments for childhood cancers is what's used in adults, but they tone down or whatever the dosage, but it's still geared more in a lot of cases. I don't want to say every case because I don't know that number and I don't want to just be spewing lies, but in a lot of cases it's just for what's used in adults for adult cancer, and like the doses are toned down for childhood for kids and childhood cancer.
Yeah.
there hasn't been a new, I don't know, treatment or whatever for childhood cancer in a long time, correct? Like a
Yeah.
new.
They have a few new trial and experimental treatments that they've been
That's what I'm
using.
trying to say.
But they're very specific. They're geared towards certain types of diagnosis. They can't be used, you know, they're not used, I should say, across the board for all childhood cancers. The leukemia cancer or leukemia diagnosis, they have a few more experimental treatments that they're using now that have provided better results. There is still the harsh side effects that they still experience those. And a few of them are a little more painful than others for the kids. So we're still behind, in my opinion.
Only
And it's
slightly.
frustrating, just a little. But yeah, it's really frustrating because these kids are our future. And if we're not providing better treatment options for them, then we're not doing them justice.
That is absolutely correct. And so before I lose my stuff for another episode, I won't do that. I got so many messages about that 2 years ago. It's like, whoa, easy now. No, I was fired up.
We
Okay, well,
need more people to get upset about it,
yeah,
though.
but
Yeah.
apparently the right people aren't upset about this. Like the people that need to be pissed off aren't, and
Yeah.
it needs to happen. But again, that's why, yeah, I tell everyone this is a mandatory race. Like I was giving you guys this stuff out at all the expos I was at this spring. Again, we're up 30, which is great. I would like it to be up 300, but that's just me. But if someone's listening, we're now a hair under a month. August 17th is Rexy Run. So you still have plenty of time to go get yourself signed up, get registered for the 5K or the 8K, and make sure that you are there. Now, Kristina, I wanted to ask you back to the race. So we talk about happier things. Is there a quilt this year?
There will be a quilt this year. My mom and my aunt always do a quilt. Haven't seen it recently, but that'll be done. What we do with that is we do ask for donations. You can make a donation through Run Sign Up when
Oh,
you
okay.
register,
Yep.
and you just automatically get entered for that raffle. And we'll take donations at the run. You don't need to bring money, just bring your phone because everybody brings their phone.
Right.
You can scan. We'll have a QR code. You can scan that QR code. If you don't know your debit card number or don't have it saved on your phone, then you might need to make sure you have that. But we'll be able to do that right there. And if your name gets drawn for the quilt, you can keep it, obviously. Or if you would like to donate it to Maddox and his family, or to Maddox, then that's what we'll do. And that's what we have ended up doing most of the time,
Sure.
is giving it to Maddox or to the honorary Rexy.
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you for always hyping us up, and to share with everybody listening, there is a code for Back of the Pack.
Mhm.
And I know Kyle has shared it, and I will share it again. It's all capital letters, BOTP, Back of the Pack. It's for all 5K or 8K, and I think it's $5, might be 10. I don't know. It's a savings. I might go
Yeah.
and adjust it and make it more right now. So, it's a savings. Use that code BOTP and get signed up. And Kyle, it has been used, just so you know.
Awesome. That makes me happy. I'm glad that it's been
Yes.
used. But yeah, like I
Say it
said, I'm
has
going to
been
say it again.
used.
This is a mandatory Back at the Pack podcast race. Everyone needs to be in Lawrence on August 17th. And I did see you were doing something new this year, at least something I hadn't seen before. You're you're sponsoring miles for the race. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yep,
Tell us
that's
about
in my
that.
notes. That's in my notes to make sure I talk about, because it's not too late if you're
Look, I finally beat
interested
her.
in
I
this.
beat Kristina to something. Yes.
It is not too late to do this if you're interested. It's called the Dedicated Mile. And what we're going to do is, for $100, you sponsor that mile. And we may have more than that, but because we have gotten some donations, but we're
Mhm.
still sticking with dedicated mile. But for $100, and let's say you have a kid that that is a warrior, that has beat cancer. I'm gonna go ahead and use somebody because I know she'll be okay with it.
Mhm.
Quentin, Amanda's son, is gonna be one of these kids that'll be on a dedicated mile. My mom is sponsoring that
Awesome.
mile. So we're gonna have a picture done on, think like a corrugated board, like a yard sign type, and it'll have a picture. First, for your $100, you'll have a name. That first corrugated board will say Quentin's Mile, dedicated by said company name or whoever, whatever it is. The next sign you'll see a little bit later will be a picture of the kid before treatment. The next picture you'll see a little bit later will be a picture of that kid during treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next picture you'll see of that kid will be how that kid is now and what he or she looks like now. So it's just kind of when it's hot out there on August 17th, I'll knock on wood. We've gotten pretty lucky. But
We've
when
had
it's
some
hot
nice
out
ones.
there and you're wondering, what am I doing? You're going to see Quentin's journey through before cancer, during cancer, and after cancer. There's one thing that, to me, when you're at the Rexy Run, you don't forget why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I know I joked about 2 years ago, and I joke about it at every expo, and I say joke. Let me phrase that, joke. We make sure there are pictures of these kids everywhere on the race.
Yes.
Because I don't want you to not know why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are everywhere. But yes, for the dedicated mile, it's a new series we're doing. It's going pretty well, and it's not too late if you're interested. Just look me up on Facebook, Kristina Selters. I'm friends with Kyle. You can find me there and shoot me a message that you're interested in it, and I'll get you taken care of. If you don't know a kid, we know kids.
Right.
You just want to go, yes, I want to do this. Here's the $100. If you want to make a donation through Run Sign Up and put in the notes dedicated mile, I will see that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make sure to get you your praise on it if you want it. If you do anonymous, then I won't, then we won't do it.
Sure.
But that is something I'm excited about to see how it goes. I know when the super fast runners are out there, they may not truly really see it, but I think just these kids' faces out there, I mean, if I could have it just about every step, I would.
Yeah.
Because I just find it that important.
No, it
So,
definitely is. It really is. It made a big difference last year when I was doing the loop to the finish line, that although you guys had all those cutouts there, it really does make a difference, especially when you're struggling. And I don't remember why, but I was having a race last year, but that definitely helped come across the finish line. And if you guys don't fill up the dedicated miles, then the Back of the Pack podcast will definitely make sure that we get you to that finish line. So you just mark us down if needed. We got you, no problem.
yeah,
And you
thank
guys
you.
can pick one of the kids.
All right, perfect. And I will say we're gonna have so many families, it seems like, this year come. And I'm so excited about that. One of the last thing where these families will be is right at the end, literally the last 10th of your mile.
Okay.
It's called Caregiver Circle, and as long as all the families that are going to be able to be there are able to come, we're going to have so many families right there. And I want that for the impact, because they're going to have their kid there. They're going to have pictures of their kid. And, I'm not trying to make it a sad race or anything, but they're going to be there cheering you on, just saying thank you for running the Rexy Run, because your proceeds, your race registration, is going back to these families.
Right.
So they're just there to say thank you more than anything.
No, and it's definitely not a sad thing. I think it's definitely impactful. Back in December when I did the St. Jude marathon that goes through their campus, and the kids and families who are receiving treatment are out there cheering runners on. I mean, yeah, you could look at it as a sad thing, but it's impactful. It moves you and gets you running and moving. So I kind of picture this along the same lines. I think it's great, and I think it's going to help everyone. as they're circling around and seeing that finish line, and then all those folks are there. Since you guys end going up a hill, that
Yeah, and you have to do this inside the park loop twice, and
yeah,
yeah, that's not, I know. But the other great thing about the Rexy Run, something we always have to make sure we have, are the cinnamon rolls.
oh
We'll
yeah,
have cinnamon rolls. They
yeah,
are donated by Aunt Netter's Cafe. And I want to, again, this kind of circles back to what I think makes the Rexy Run unique. Aunt Netter's Cafe out in Lecompton, Kansas, if I could talk, is Annette Nally and her husband Jamin. Annette is Erica's sister,
okay,
so is Jaden's aunt.
okay, awesome.
So it's all family. And so they make a donation of these mini cinnamon rolls. And if she ever says, no, I'm not going to do that, pretty sure I would never tell anybody because the race registration numbers would be down. Um,
No
so,
cinnamon rolls. Kristina retires. She's out.
yeah,
Done.
exactly. Like, nope, no more, no more. So super excited to have those again, of course.
And then
And
will
yeah,
our
Aunt Netter's was just number 4 in the US for their pies.
holy
Yeah.
cow.
In the
Okay.
Yeah.
US.
In
Okay.
the US, yeah.
Looks like I'm going to be making a road trip out to Lecompton here pretty soon because I want a number 4 ranked pie. Not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
It has been insanely busy the last month or so. And that is she's like, I just can't keep up with the pies, which is a good thing. But she's like,
We're going to send more people to them.
That's right. All right, everyone, road trip. We're going. We're going to have to run a 5K before and after we eat the pies.
Nothing wrong with that.
We
And
have
then
cyclists, Kyle. We have groups of cyclists that come in and they stop and eat pie, drink a cup of coffee, and then they're on their way.
back on the bike. I love it. I
Yep,
think that's
back on the
great.
bike.
If I could bike worth a darn, I would be in on that, but I would definitely be back of the pack on that one. Terrible. But how about photography? Is our favorite photog group coming back?
Oh yes, Mile 90 will be there. Mile 90 is amazing.
Yeah, they are.
They make everybody look good. And but more than that, by Saturday afternoon, your pictures will be online,
Yes,
Mhm.
mile90.com, and they're free to download.
Yeah.
So, and
they're amazing.
So for
they
all
are
the ones who
great.
saw me 2 weeks ago wearing a tutu, that was mile 90 that decided to take all those photos
Yeah.
of me, including the photos as I went by them. They got some nice back shots that didn't leave much to the imagination. But yeah, me in a tutu. It was something.
Christy and Rick at Mile 90, and their other photographers,
Yeah.
John and their other photographers, they're all great.
Yeah, no, they're good. When we did our race last year, we used them. They were at the race I did 2 weeks ago at your race. They're all over the place and they are the best. I've had no problem telling people that.
Yeah, they're
And
great.
don't forget, oh, sorry, Kristina. We always
go.
encourage dinosaur costumes.
Yes.
So feel free to wear your dino costume. It's encouraged.
And then Kristina, something you told me years ago was bright colors.
Yeah.
Like, always wear the bright colors. Kids like the bright colors. So if you have any just ungodly, ugly, bright color stuff, to wear that.
Yeah.
And if you want to make this a family affair, which we always encourage and love, we will have like Star Wars figures, Star Wars people in costume out there, princess people. If you're a K-State or Missouri fan, you might not like this, but literal Baby J from KU will be there again this year. I think I got all that.
Kristina, she also told me that she's probably going to send Bluey and her friend.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember. Starts with a B. Anyway, please forgive me, those who are listening. My children are all older now, so I don't know these characters.
Yeah, I have teenagers. I don't know about this one.
We need to work to see next year if somebody can come as SpongeBob.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Well, I
Jay,
wonder if
Jaden was
the
oh
Casey
yeah,
Casey cosplay.
Cosplay Runner. We
oh
have a
yeah,
suggestion, and you have a year to prepare, good sir.
Mhm.
So just throwing that out
oh
there.
I say that
yeah,
because Jaden was a huge SpongeBob fan. So
Okay.
that's,
yes.
and that's hard to put
SpongeBob
on a
and
shirt.
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's hard to put SpongeBob on a shirt without probably getting sued by a whole bunch of people. So I don't think we'll do that.
I have found more and more races don't really care. They're putting trademark stuff on everything now. They don't care. They sue
Yeah,
us. What are you gonna do?
that's true.
Yeah.
But yes, if you don't like if you want a gray or black or white t-shirt, this isn't the right. Now, we did make a change. I don't want to say change because this is the first year I've done it this way. The shirt is extra, so you're choosing to get the shirt for this
Okay.
year.
Yep.
A lot of races are doing that,
Yeah.
as you know, and most people, everybody that's listening knows, but that is something that we changed for this year. So,
What color is this year's shirt?
it's a yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
Hmm.
So be nice and bright.
It is nice and bright, yes. Um, and I think I do want to give, just because I have the platform, I want to thank a couple of two more long-time sponsors that have been around for all 9 years. Kansas Rocks Park. If
Okay.
you have a
Yes.
Jeep and like to go jeeping on trails, look them up. They're great. They're down there, kind of by the Pittsburgh area down south. And then Pro Print and Lawrence
Okay.
Yeah.
has been a sponsor all 9 years. So I just wanted to shamelessly plug them because
Absolutely.
they've been around and they are great. And if you're listening and you want to be a sponsor, it's still not too late, and you can be a sponsor for as little as $100.
Right.
And cannot stress it enough. Of that $100, all of that will go back to Maddox and his family,
Mhm.
our honorary Rexy. Oh yeah, I want to talk a little bit about more about Maddox real quick.
Fire
Other
away.
things, he likes. Hamburgers are his favorite food.
Oh, I like
He
this kid already.
likes he likes Spider-Man and camping and fishing, and he has two older sisters as well.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that. And his favorite color is blue.
Blue.
So when you're deciding what you want to wear, think about maybe wearing blue because that's his favorite color.
It is now decided. We will be wearing blue. And then are we expecting Maddox to be in attendance?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes.
Excellent.
His mom will actually be running.
Awesome.
So Maddox and his sisters and his dad will be in caregiver circle. Now I can't speak. So yeah, they'll be there.
That's great.
They might be handing out, Maddox and his family might be handing out medals actually after the
Oh,
finish line.
I forget that we do
Yeah.
that. My bad.
They might be actually handing out medals. So
Yeah, so instead of the circle, he'll be 30 feet away giving out medals
Yes.
behind the circle.
yes.
Exactly.
As long as the family's okay with that, the mom and dad are
Right.
okay with that, because being in remission and a bunch of runners coming in. But yes, that's
Sweaty and
if they're
gross.
okay with it, yeah, that's where they'll be. So I think I've got what I kind of was thinking about making sure I mentioned.
Perfect. All right. Well,
Uh,
Erica, anything you want to add on top of this? This is your chance. Anything that the good listeners need to know?
Not that I can think of. Kristina, was there anything else you wanted me to talk about?
I don't think so. We should probably talk just real briefly. I don't know how long we're doing time wise.
Ah, we're good.
Okay. If you look at Erica, well, last year's shirt has, oh, that reminds me of the medals. This little purple butterfly, his name is Flip.
Okay.
And we introduced Flip into Baby J's Legacy of Hope a couple years ago. And Flip just helps with the journey for our cancer warriors. We have a book called Flips. Oh, Erica, help me out with the whole full name of it.
Flip's Big Advice.
Flip's Big Book of, yeah.
Flip's Book of Big, yeah.
Say that 3
of
times
advice.
fast.
Yeah.
And
And
yeah.
that's just to help warriors with their journey along. It's actually literally stories from other kids who have fought cancer,
Mhm.
what they did, like activities that they did to help them with their journey, and it's just giving other warriors advice. We are introducing a new character, and his name is going to be Spark. His or her
Okay.
name is going to be Spark, and you will actually see Spark throughout different things through the race course, on the T-shirt, and on the medal.
Awesome.
And Spark is going to be a lot of stuff Baby J's is working on, but it's going to be for the siblings
Okay.
and
Perfect.
a siblings perspective of their brother or sister going through cancer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think we actually talked about that very much with Baby J's Legacy of Hope. Is as much as we love the kid fighting cancer, we also love the siblings,
Yes.
and we don't want them to be forgotten about. And that happens a lot in this journey. So we're going to give a perspective from the siblings and how they helped their sibling going through cancer and that kind of stuff. So that's Spark, and you're going to start to see Spark on a lot of different things. And he's on the logo for this year, and like I said, he's on the medal. Our medal for last year and
Mhm.
this year and next year are all going to connect.
Yeah.
You can have like one big medal. Now, if you're concerned because you didn't do last year's run, we have extras. It's okay. We'll have them at the race. Come talk to us. We'll give you one. You know, if you want to make an extra donation later, that's fine. We appreciate it, but we're not asking for that. We'll give you that medal. So that way you can have it that connects from last year to this year's, and then rope you in for next year as well. And all three of them will connect together.
That's right.
So we're getting excited. Things are looking good for the run. I don't know if there will be a lot of new things necessarily this year from last year, but there's not a better run in the area as far as the cause, in my opinion.
Right.
In my opinion, Baby J's Legacy of Hope is a homegrown organization, 501c, and we really focus on the families and the kids and the warriors and angels who are fighting cancer. And I'll brag on Erica. There's something that's maybe sometimes not as much talked about is the emotional aspect of it. And Erica and the board, but specifically Erica and Jason, provide a lot of emotional support for these families because they've been through it.
Yeah.
I know what's going on. So that's my last little plug on Baby J's Legacy of Hope. Come support us in Maddox at the Rexy Run on August 17th in Lawrence. And that's all I got, except thank you, Kyle.
No, nope. Thank you both for everything that you do. And I'm sorry we missed last year.
That was my fault too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know we had our race coming up in September last
Yes.
year, so you know how the focus just kind of shifts. So I'm out there running all these races, but I was so totally focused on the one that we were doing that, yeah, I dropped the ball on that one. But I was very glad to get
Yeah,
you guys
it's
back
okay.
on this year, and yeah, then we'll be back next year. But everyone, August 17th, they're going to be in Lawrence, and they're going to be wearing blue, and they're going to all paint their faces like Spider-Man, and they're going to wear a dinosaur costume somewhere on their body. And I don't ask too much, and it won't be 11 billion degrees. We'll all be fine. So,
And it's an easy drive for anybody that's thinking it's
yeah,
a long ways to come.
no,
It's at Broken Arrow Park right off of K10.
yeah,
If you don't want to come into Lawrence, you like barely come into Lawrence. Actually, I think it's not even technically city limits. It is right off of K10. So super easy drive.
yeah. It's like a block off the highway. It is super easy.
Yeah, super easy. So if you think if it's too far, it's not. Especially Overland Park, Olathe people.
Yeah,
It's super
Yeah.
easy. So
It's only
yep,
about 30 minutes.
yep.
yeah.
Easy peasy. So everyone's going to be there, and hopefully we'll get a little over. So you're over 30 now. See if maybe we could get to 50. If we could be 50 over last year, I think we'd be looking good. That's
That'd be
what we're gonna do.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna keep bothering people until they register and we're 50 over. So you'll have to keep me
Thank
updated.
you. I will. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you both very much for coming on the podcast. I do appreciate it so very much. Everyone, if you've made it to the end of this show, good job out of you. I hope you learned a lot and are ready for this race. And if you need one parting shot, just to keep it in mind to do this, 4%. 4%. No. So that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Back of the Pack podcast. I want to thank my guests, Erica and Kristina. Thank you guys both so much for coming on the show. We'll be back next week with another new episode. This weekend coming up, let's see. Oh, I'm volunteering this week. No, I'm sorry. By the time you hear this, I'll be done volunteering. I'll talk about that on a different episode. Next one coming up for this is Rock Island Half Marathon, where we're all going to die of heat stroke. So
yeah, good luck with that.
yeah. Oh, we're not going to see you out there? Oh, come on.
No, we did it last year. It was good, but
oh, it was brutal. So yeah, Rock
Yeah, it was
Island is what
brutal.
we'll be talking about next. So wish us all luck. Everyone have a safe week of training. We will see you next week.